Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on when you are watching this. I am Shantae Javon Taylor, neuroscientist and success strategist. Welcome, welcome. Today, I wanted to pop on for a few minutes and talk about the neuroscience of chips. I know, right? That sounds awkward. How can there be a neuroscience behind chips? Well, well, if you ask. Um, so basically, I realized that to make a bigger impact in the world, you kind of got to stand out in the world, right? So when I was at the store the other day, I was going down the chip aisle and there's these two rows of chips, right? Just chips and chips, as many chips and all these brands. And I knew exactly what kind of chips that I wanted to get, right? So I had my blinders on. I knew exactly where they were located, on what side of the aisle. But then something caught my eye when I was reaching for the bag of chips that I normally buy because I'm bought into the taste and the brand and all of that, another brand of chips caught my eye. And the bag of chips, it was a black bag with flames coming out of the image, and it was lime and heat and cayenne peppers, and I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" It gave me pause. I picked up the bag. I felt the bag. I read the bag. I didn't ultimately buy the bag of chips because I was like, I'm just coming to get one brand that I like. But the reason why I'm bringing this up today is because there's always going to be a lot of people in your field, especially when you're in your field. Okay. There doesn't seem to be that many people in the field if you're not in the field, but it's like buying a brand new car, right? Once you buy a car, then you see the car everywhere. So when we are coaches, when we are leaders, when we are trainers, when we are influencers and we're in it and we're trying to navigate the world so that we can make an impact and serve people and do our gifts and talents and skills and zones of genius, it kind of feels like we're swimming in a sea of like we're like everybody else, right? So it's very important to be that black bag of chips, okay, in a sea of chips, um, so that you can really do your work and feel like you're being successful and making the impact that you really want to make in the world. So that brings me to what I do. Okay, I'm a neuroscientist, I'm a success strategist. My mission with the Optimind Institute is to empower 100 million coaches, leaders, and trainers and influencers on how to infuse brain science into their strategies, so that they can not only reach their full potential, highest level of potential, but they can influence others to do the same. They can train others to do the same. They can coach clients to do the same. They can lead organizations, people within their organizations to do the same. The brain is the control center of this human experience. So it's not enough just to know a tidbit about the brain and how we're impacted and how we can up level it, up regulate it. When we are talking about changing humanity, when we're talking about influencing minds, shifting minds in the direction that we feel like humanity needs to evolve, we have to start here. We have to know how it works at a practical level so we can naturally infuse it into the way we speak to others, the way we treat others, the way we show up for others, and also help them to navigate their own brains so that they can do the same. So neuroscience, the neuroscience world, um, gives you that leverage point. Neuroscience gives you that distinction. Neuroscience, brain science, evidence, research. When you infuse it into your work, when you infuse it into your live streams, when you infuse it into your trainings, when you're going to pitch to a corporate audience, a corporate organization, then you want to train on becoming more resilient or increasing productivity or reducing unconscious bias in the workforce. You know what's going to set you apart from the other 100 proposals? It's bringing in evidence, science, brain science to anchor to anchor those concepts that people have already been, they've heard it before, they've been trained on it before, but for some reason, we're not moving or shifting at a level that we can as humans because we're not making the brain changes. We don't have the trainers, we don't have the coaches, we don't have the influencers, we don't have the leaders that are bringing in the strategies that will really change the brain for lasting behaviors, for lasting compassion, for lasting insights. If the brain doesn't change on a long-term level, people are going to go back to their regular scheduled programming, people. So if you want to stand out as a coach, if you want to stand out as a trainer, if you want to make a bigger impact as a leader and influencer, incorporating neuroscience into what you do is really going to catapult you into the top 1% of your industries. If you really want to be that bag of chips, if you just joined, I talked about, how there's a bunch of chips in the aisle, and one of them caught my eye. That was new. If you want to be that bag of chips, if you want to stand out in a sea of chips, it's in the chip aisle, you're going to have to do something not just different. It's not viable just to look different. It's not viable just to sound different. You want to have the skills and techniques that are so advanced that people cannot look away. That's how you attract clients. That's how you get that attention from people scrolling down their social media feeds, because you're talking about something different. You're talking on a level where people naturally want to understand their brains better. They want to know the why. Why can't I change? Why can't I become? Why do I keep falling back, to this relationship? Why can't I get my workforce to believe me or trust me? It's here, people, that people need to change. And when leaders, when coaches, when trainers understand their brain, they know how to impact other people's brains. They're more aware of it as well. So I wanted to just pop on and say, incorporating neuroscience into your world will help you to stand out in your industries, make a bigger impact, and you will be able to attract opportunities that you don't even know exist. But once people can start associating you with your knowledge of how you understand why we really do what we do, because you understand the brain, the doors and the windows are going to bust open for you. If you want to understand this dynamic, if you want to understand the opportunities that neuroscience can bring to you in your industries, if you want to learn how to craft coaching programs, speaker keynotes, trainings, and workshops, and how to seamlessly infuse neuroscience into your work so that you can really stand out and have the powerful, long-lasting changes in people's brains, then you probably want to attend my free masterclass on Thursday. Okay, it's happening at 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Time. All right, so we're going to spend an hour together, and what I'm just going to share with you, I'm going to go deeper into the layers of the opportunities and the possibilities of becoming a dynamic coach, leader, influencer, trainer with this powerful knowledge, and how it's going to catapult you to the next level. If you have been drowning in a sea of competitors or people in your industry, and you're wondering, how can I stand out? How can I stand out as an influencer, as a coach? How can I get more attention on my services, on my products? What can really penetrate the market? It's neuroscience, and it's not just another tactic. This is what's going to really transform humanity. So when I talk to people who are looking to differentiate themselves with neuroscience, they also have to love the idea of knowing about the brain. Like, you kind of got to be on the nerdy side. Like you geek out over the brain. You have a love affair with the brain, this beautiful instrument in our heads that can make or break us, right? But not only that, like I really want to, I love everybody, okay? But I really want to work with people who want to make a big impact, not a little impact, not just a few ripples, but you're talking, I'm ready to move mountains, because now is the time in our human experience where we need coaches and leaders and influencers to be operating at the highest level of their brain power, because they have so much influence on others. So I want to be strategic in who I train on this level, because it's like a chessboard. You know, if we're strategically placed on the board, right, and we're all training on the brain, guess what? We are shifting humanity at the mountain level. Okay, so if this is calling to you, come and train with me. My free masterclass this Thursday, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern time. I will put the link. You know, it costs nothing to come and learn something different. Okay, to learn something empowering that's going to take you to the next level, and to the next level, and to the next level. I will put the link in the comments and in this post when I'm done. Rick, yes, I love neuroscience and infusing it into my work. Yes, neuroscience is the next level of this human experience. That means it has to be the next level in our coaching, in our leadership, and how we go into organizations and train others, because that other stuff hasn't been working. The status quo training, the status quo coaching, the status quo leadership is not enough anymore. We need a more advanced, powerful knowledge. Okay, because one thing that 2020 has taught us is that there's a lot of gaps in our society. There's so many gaps in leadership. There's so many gaps in trainings, in equality and equity. So we need a more powerful strategy to move people collectively, to be able to deal with the challenges that are going to keep coming. But if people are able to build resilient brains, if we're able to train coaches and leaders to be more aware and compassionate and empathetic and reduce their unconscious biases, guess what? We're going to keep moving forward. And not just that, it's not just overcoming challenges, but when we use our brains more intentionally, we hope we open up a whole new world in our brains to create and be innovative and create the kind of world and jobs and inventions that will also take us to the next level. Okay, because one thing, we keep evolving our technology, but we're not evolving our mental technology. We all know how to use our smartphones, right? We're learning how to use it every day, but how many of us learn how to use our neural technology, our brain technology? Because the more we just depend on technology, the more distant we become as humans. So we have to make sure we are intentionally using our neural technology so we can stay connected to each other, to our humanity, as we evolve the technology. It has to be both. Okay, so I'm talking to the ones who want to make a bigger impact, who want to be able to train others to make a bigger impact, who are influencers and who want to infuse this knowledge into their live streams and their programs, so that they can make more powerful transformational transformations in their clients, in those they serve. Okay, so I will see you in the masterclass. Grow your leadership, grow your coaching, grow your influence, grow your training with neuroscience. I will show you how in the masterclass this Thursday, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern time. I will love for you to ask me questions that I will address in real time on the masterclass. Come with any questions. Remember, the brain is a 360-degree tool. That means I can find the neuroscience behind everything that I know of. The things that I'm not aware of yet, obviously I can't find the neuroscience behind it. But this human experience, everything that we commonly know, I can bring the neuroscience behind it. I can show you, I can demonstrate how you can infuse neuroscience strategies and research seamlessly into your work, into your offerings, into your speeches and your workshops in such a way that doesn't lose the audience. That's very important. It's a very, I always say that neuroscience is an art. Coaching is an art. Leadership is an art, but the way you use neuroscience is also an art. So I like to bring the art of neuroscience to your work so that not only do you empower those who are learning from you, but you don't lose them in the science. Okay, so there's a way to do it. So bring your questions, bring your insights, bring a pen, bring a notepad, and join me for an hour on this masterclass on Thursday. I cannot wait. You see me all hyped up, right? I am Shante Jovan Taylor, neuroscientist and success strategist. I can't wait to see you there. Ask your questions below. And if you want any more details, ask them below as well. All right. Remember, when you better your mind and better your brain, you better your impact. Coaches, leaders, influencers, and trainers. Take care, everyone.